There's a video on the internet about a penguin flying across the sky. They're recorded from different angles. Penguins flying? This video is definitely fake. But it doesn't seem, because creating a fake video that's so authentic is expensive. After all, what's going on here? Some people say that penguins are mysterious, possibly living in Antarctica since the dinosaur era. They were ancient lords, species that survived the nuclear winter 65 million years ago. They're the only dinosaurs left on Earth. What the hell is this? Many people might think that penguins eat until they're fat and can't fly anymore. They can only fly close to the ground. But in the eyes of scientists, penguins can actually fly. Even their ability to fly is unique in nature. They're the only birds that can fly in water. Watch how the penguins swim. Obviously, it's beating. Instead, the cranes are crawling into their bodies. Especially when it comes out of the water, it's obviously a bird. The penguin is a large, fat bird with a fine layer of grease on its fur and small air bubbles to reduce water resistance. It can fly underwater, reaching a maximum speed of 36 km/h, dives 565 meters deep, and holds its breath for about an hour. When seen in an aquarium, a white whale imitates the penguin's actions, causing curiosity about whether it will eventually fly out of the water like a penguin. Why are walking penguins so cute? They don't have knees? In fact, the X-rays showed that they had not only knees, but also long legs. It's just the knee that's covered with fat. They seem to be walking straight, but they're actually sitting around while walking. In 2000, scientists studying penguins accidentally discovered a rather unbelievable secret. That is, penguins are actually more efficient than humans. They used to think that humans were the most efficient species to walk. This doesn't seem to have to be proved, because no animal can run faster than humans on two legs. The way humans walk is very good for gravity recovery. With every step forward, our bodies will bend forward, using gravity to push them forward. This saves energy for the muscles. For straight walkers, their gravity recovery rate is only 35%. For bears, that figure is less than 10%. For chickens, 60%. And for humans, that rate is up to 65%. That's really a high percentage. But in this experiment, after scientists made the calculations for penguins, the percentage exceeded 80%. In other words, the penguin is the king of the ability to walk straight. Man is only the second. What helped the penguins achieve such an impressive score? At first, when people walk in a seated position, the focus is very low, making it difficult to use gravity, so we get more and more tired of walking. But in addition to bending people forward and taking advantage of gravity, you can also turn your body left and right. So we can see the cute and mysterious way the penguin walks. The limits for the penguin's survival that humans can observe are low temperatures of 117 degrees. Would you dare stand barefoot on the ice? Maybe it's more scary than licking the Northeast Iron Gate. But why didn't the penguin's legs freeze? It turns out that its ankle has evolved to have a very subtle structure called the reverse current heat exchange system. Their blood vessels in the ankles are tied into a very complex knot. Without this button, the temperature of the blood flow is 37 degrees Celsius. A penguin's feet are big and thin. It's like a cooling envelope. When the blood flows backwards, the temperature will be only 13 degrees Celsius. It requires a lot of energy to raise the blood temperature to 37 degrees, and naturally, their bodies are unable to supply their legs with an enormous amount of continuous energy. However, the approaching blood will chill the flowing blood with this knob. In addition, the blood's outflow heats the blood flow concurrently. The blood flow will be 14 degrees, and the inlet will be 13 degrees at their legs. It's far simpler to heat with a little 1°C temperature differential, maintaining the palatte's average temperature of 5 degrees and avoiding frostbite. Despite being a basic knob, It provides numerous solutions. Despite their adorable appearance, penguins are predators. Is the large goose at your village gate seeming more menacing than this posture? A television station once wanted to interview an elderly professor who had spent 36 years researching Magellanic penguins. The professor was everything but composed. As soon as the interview began, the journalists were agitated. Beside them, the penguins were yelling all the while. The professor's look seems genuinely helpless as he is interrupted non-stop. The lecturer concludes the interview by saying, "They're vibrant birds." I can only conclude from watching the interview that penguins are a kind of geese. Not only that, but these chattering penguins have a couple more tragic tales. A species of Adélie penguin inhabiting Antarctica has small eyes and a body that is only half the size of an imperial penguin's. Perhaps someone told me the tale of this evil penguin. A British physician named Levick made an Antarctic excursion over a century ago. When he first spotted this small penguin, he initially believed it to be a little gentleman dressed for a party. They tend to live faithfully in a married, peaceful family and are cute. After that, Levick produced other articles and sent them to Britain. The ladies and gentlemen of Britain soon fell in love with this lovely little creature, but soon after, Dr. Levick stopped sending data about this penguin. When you came back to England, you didn't mention these little penguins to anyone. For the last few years, that year's doctor's penguin notes have been uncovered. Just because these penguins are scammers, you don't want to mention them anymore. The little gentleman who was once praised by Dr. Levick became something inexplicable after he studied and understood them more deeply. Let's start with some gentle bullying. As the Adélie penguin prepares to lay eggs, they will look for an open space without ice and build a rock nest on the ground. At this point, you can say that the stones are penguins' money, because of the money that their unfavorable nature reveals. Take this male penguin as an example. While the neighbor was gone, he stole the stones. You stole mine, and I stole yours. Finally, no one can build their nest while the little penguin is about to lay its eggs. How are they going to solve that problem? Something incredible happened. The male will throw the female out. Or there are cases where the females have sex directly with the neighboring male penguin. Of course, the horns and the blinking of the eyes have to pay the price of the stones. Many other ugly females will pick up the stones and run back as soon as the neighbor's male bites the fish. Then the neighbor's male penguin is going to wander. He won't take revenge, but instead, he'll mock his own wife. Or to find the stones, they're going all over the place with extremely high injection pressures, at least 8 times higher than humans. With a height of 60 centimeters, they can easily launch up to 40 centimeters. Such scented scenery can even be found directly on Google Maps. When penguins go fishing together, bastard behavior is also observed. The cranes might be hidden somewhere, waiting to feed the first bird to drown, so the birds in the back will kick their comrade into the water. In his note, Dr. Levick stated that Adélie penguin's spooky world severely damaged his perception of reality, values, and life in general. He contends that a century ago, these information shouldn't have been released to the public. Other scientists, however, disagree, arguing that moral principles unique to humans cannot be applied to animals. Humans also discovered that the emperor penguin, sometimes known as the king penguin in Antarctica, has a backstory distinct from that of the Adélie penguin. This is the biggest penguin, growing to a maximum height of 1.2 meters. They travel within Antarctica every year, almost 100 kilometers from the coast. Then, in 60-degree snow, they cling to one another to stay warm and feed their young. To become a single-husband family, they will hold a 1-month dating party in June. A penguin finding a new love each year is a unique experience. This year they are married, but they'll have to deal with another child the next year. Even though the remaining penguin already has a mate, it will still fall and strike another bird. There might be an altercation. Although emperor penguins have relatively few natural predators in Antarctica, virtually any animal can become an ally when the penguins are producing eggs, since the eggs are not protected from the cold. The egg will freeze and perish in a matter of minutes if it comes into contact with the ground or the air. Therefore, how are the eggs protected by the emperor penguin? They cannot hold eggs in their hands because they lack hands and traction locks on their outer coat. Fear not, nature has a pouch on your feet just for the male penguin. The female penguin had begun laying eggs by August. The eggs are enormous, with a capacity of 400,500 milliliters, or 1 bottle of mineral water. Most of the nutrition that is stored in the female body will be consumed by it. Thus, the females will drop at least 25% of their body weight. After giving the lizard the egg, the female penguin must quickly return to the shore to replenish its energy. The male is unable to feed for at least 2 months during the egg protection period and experiences the harsh winter weather. The penguins will swiftly return to locate their mate by recognizing sounds and scents after they have finished fishing and become tired. Something that appears to be milk for their child is this. Until the ladies return, the males will typically remain in the cold for almost 60 days. In the worst scenario, a male penguin lost 53% of his body weight and had to wait 115 days for his wife to return. Most of the time your baby's born, the penguin will put you in your pocket and also secrete something like milk in your mouth to feed you. If the wind blows up, the males will also form a big circle to keep warm. The central temperature of the circle is up to 30 degrees. The heat can even kill a penguin. So push the inside out and push the outside in. It's a dynamic circle that keeps the penguins out there from dying. Even penguins make kindergartens for their children. It's a big penguin circle. When the cold wind comes, the little penguins will be locked in the inner cage. When they're a little bigger, they'll look brown like this. By the time they grow up, they will be stripped of their bodies and gradually resemble their parents. There were 21 species of penguins at one point, but 2 are now extinct. 19 species remain extant. Penguins are well cared for by humans. Actually, it was the human animal protection instinct that was awoken by the rubbish field and the adorable sight of the penguins. Only after listening to the sounds of the natural world and penguins after our arrival in Antarctica over a century ago did people become conscious of the need to safeguard animals. However, scientists estimate that the imperial penguin will go extinct around 2100 because, although we humans may save species, we cannot save the environment. In 2010, a breakaway iceberg resulted in the starvation and eventual death of 150,000 penguins. Penguin habitat is becoming less. In the time of the dinosaurs, the penguin dynasty overcame the nuclear winter, which might vanish in the human period. So, in order to guarantee a sustained existence, we must safeguard the roots. I appreciate you being here with me in today's video. And now, goodbye and see you again. Thank you for watching.